Good morning, and welcome to day 5 of the 30-day Speaking to Camera Challenge. I'm Ryan, and I will be your host today. In this challenge, we're looking at overcoming the fear of the camera. I think that has been something that I've been quite reluctant to engage with for the longest time. So the last 5 days, or 4 days plus today, have been quite remarkable. They've also been very eye-opening in terms of things that one needs to improve. I think so often we don't realize we don't realize what we don't know. And I suppose this kind of comes down to a philosophical phrase like the unexamined life is not worth living. It's which obviously takes it to another extreme, but there's an element of truth in this, and quite often we don't see what we don't see or what we don't choose to open our eyes to. So yeah, over the next 20-25 days, I'll be continuing this challenge. All the footage will be unedited, so you'll be able to see all my blunders along the way, which hopefully become fewer and fewer. Really working on my eye contact at the moment, so that is something that I feel makes a huge difference. I've also gone and invested in a lovelier mic, so hopefully the audio quality is that much better. Really makes a difference, but we'll wait and see. So the ers and ums, and I realize I haven't set my timer, so I'm just going to do that quickly. Okay, so I'll just have a bit of a guess in terms of that one, but anywho, during this process we'll be speaking to camera for roughly 5 to 10 minutes. I'll look at probably going towards the longer side, so it might get a little bit dull towards the end, but we'll wait and see. But yeah, I do hope you enjoy it. I appreciate you being along for the ride. I think it's definitely one of those which should be a interesting journey, or at least it has been already. Yeah, been very eye-opening. Good way and bad. I mean, obviously good getting all the positive feedback, but I think we do make mistakes along the way, and sometimes, well, like I mentioned in my previous video, which I'll probably leave a link to now, yeah, there's certain days that are quite tough, just in terms of that roller coaster of emotion and the ups and downs, trying to come to terms with where you are and where you'd like to go, and just, yeah, I suppose consistency there is the key. Willingness to just carry on, plodding on, making progress some days, other days feeling as though you're moving backwards a little bit. But yeah, that's what it is. And I look forward to seeing where the next 25 days take me. I think it should be quite illuminating. So yeah, I'm glad to have you with me. In terms of where I'm at, currently I just started playing around with video editing software. So I think I started with DaVinci Resolve last night, just to kind of see where we could potentially take it. I think that side of it is something I have never really engaged with at all. Obviously, I think on our day-to-day life, we do deal with the camera on some level. I think it's more in terms of social situations. People are just taking a little bit of footage here and there, never anything too formal. Occasionally with work there's something that's a little bit more structured, but for the most part it's one of those we just have in the background, don't really choose to engage with. Video editing obviously takes that and formalizes the process, making sure everything is very deliberate. Any edits or cuts or mistakes can be omitted, which changes the dynamic quite significantly, in that you can basically remove any any awkward pauses, anything that just doesn't look as though it fits, which I look forward to playing around with. Obviously not for this series, this is all raw footage. But yeah, we'll look forward to seeing where it takes us. Indeed. In terms of equipment, I'm currently just filming on my phone with obviously the new mic just for the sound quality, which I'm hoping makes a huge difference. Today I thought I would dabbled in the past a little bit. So beforehand, I spoke about my time in Hong Kong, how I enjoyed it. I thought today I'd probably go and explore some of my travels that were that side, or at least the highlights of my adventure. I think while I was that side, I was there for a year, visited probably half a dozen countries there. I think they included Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Cambodia, Malaysia, and Macau, as well as Hong Kong, obviously. Each country, obviously, is fascinating in its own right. I think had I stayed there longer, Japan, South Korea would definitely have been up there, as well as making it over to mainland China. I think that was definitely something that I was looking forward to prior to COVID. I think we were actually looking at going to China the weekend there was a major outbreak in Wuhan, which obviously would have been a little bit less than productive, and I would have been stuck that side of the border, which, yeah, I'm not sure would have been so great for my general state of being and state of health. But yeah, sometimes life throws a curveball, I get a little bit disappointed and then realize it's for the best. So yeah, that's that one. In terms of my travel, I think spending time at Angkor Wat and the surrounding temples in Cambodia was quite breathtaking, actually. I think just looking at the magnitude of some of those monuments, and I think quite often looking at old religious buildings, the amount of effort and time that went into them, and the fact that they're still standing thousands of years later is remarkable. Just the dedication that people put into it. The monuments themselves, obviously amazing. I think just walking around there, watching the sunrise over Angkor Wat was spectacular. Didn't really think I'd be doing it with another 1,000+ people, which obviously changes the dynamic somewhat, but still just breathtaking. Walking around some of those that are somewhat covered in growth makes it look as though you've stumbled across one of the temples out of Tomb Raider, which, yeah, it is obviously special. And then venturing off and looking at the surrounds, I think we went to go explore a waterfall, which itself was fantastic. I think waterfall coming down, 30 odd meters, swimming beneath it. But on that, we kind of saw a whole lot of broken down temples, effectively, which were largely untouched. And I think just seeing that there was special. To get there, we kind of had to go on the back of these motorcycles. I think it was me and two British guys. Sadly, don't have any footage of that there, or very limited footage of that. I'd love to stick that in. But yeah, just going on those adventures across there, basically feeling as though you're about to fall off, going through the bundu in terms of, not really knowing where you're going or how you're going to get there, just hoping you just don't fall off and survive. But the experience in the whole was, remarkable. I just remember being there and just being in awe of these temples that have been so untouched. Obviously the rest, you have thousands and thousands and thousands of visitors each day, effectively. But these were, maybe got 1, 2, 3 visitors a day, if that. A lot of them probably even less than. But yeah, it's definitely quite something. But I think definitely my favorite 2 places were both Malaysia, just for the cultural and religious melting pot, all coming together, everyone living in harmony. The people just felt so generous and authentic. Vietnam was the same, just really, really special. Food was fantastic. Obviously, when you've got so many different cultures coming together, you just get such an exciting blend of food, of cultures, of styles of living, I suppose, which is just, quite remarkable. So that's definitely there. In terms of the actual places to visit, I think Vietnam was definitely way up there. I think sailing through Halong Bay, looking at those monuments, well, not monuments, but struts of rock basically sticking out all over you as you sail through them, going canoeing around there, basically dealing with the jellyfish in the water, but still choosing to jump in, and probably shouldn't have done that, but yeah, we did anyway, which was just absolutely fantastic. Food is phenomenal. Going across to Ningming, the ancient city, was just breathtaking. I mean, to me, definitely the north. I got a lot more pleasure out of the north. I think the south was obviously much more ravaged by war, and it seems as though the whole history is focused on that or fixated on that. But the north somehow is just so rich. I think I've always been one who's enamored by different cultures. So, that side of things was just breathtaking. But yeah, that was it with regards to time. So I think I'm going to stop there. If you did manage to make it to the end, thanks for watching. Hope it wasn't too all over the place, then you got some benefit out of it. I really do appreciate all the views. It really is one that gives me additional confidence and push to carry on, which is definitely fantastic. Definitely days like yesterday where you feel a little bit despondent, carrying on but not really seeing very much progress. Obviously one of those where progress happens in waves, and it's kind of 2 steps forward, 1 step back quite often. But yeah, always good to get that positive feedback. Have an absolutely spectacular day. If you'd like to see more content, I'll stick a playlist or one of my future videos up this side, and then hopefully my subscribe button this side, which I'd love to have you subscribe and like the video. Otherwise, have a brilliant one, and I look forward to seeing you soon.